Hello there, people of the universe. My name is Mike Svi, and yeah, camera angles changed again. Basically, Black Friday, got a new monitor which matches my main one, so they both match all curvy and nice as that picture shows, which looks really cool. But in doing that, not only have I subtracted some of the heat from my second monitor that I used to use, but as well, I've got some more space. As well as that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and put my camera, instead of there, I'm going to put it there. Because the only reason I put it there was because I couldn't have it in front of me. Because when I used to use my webcam all the time as a face cam, I had it like obviously straight on. And I really like that for a face cam. But anyway, this video is an excuse because I haven't slept. I was going to record Bioshock, but I haven't got the energy to record something. I don't feel up to it, and I know the no sleep. That sounds like a fucking you problem, Michael. It is, but when I was scrolling through Twitter, there is something, and not just on Twitter, it's been on mine and thousands of other people's minds for just over 2 years now. And that is, of course, the title of this video. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Now, this is a topic what a lot of you might not have any clue what it means. You might notice in the background I've got my DVDs of Man of Steel, and then Blu-rays of Batman vs Superman, the Ultimate Edition, Suicide Squad, the Extended Edition, but not the Director's Cut, just the Extended Cut, Wonder Woman, which is the full cut, and then Aquaman, the full cut. Thank fuck for that. I don't have Shazam's, I haven't got that yet, and then Justice League, I refuse to get. Now, I have had a comment, specifically this comment, what I was going to use in a reading comments video. Now, I don't have it on hand, so I don't know what it says on memory, but I know it mentions someone asking me for my opinion on the DCEU and stuff like that. Now, if you remember a video I made, it was the beginning of last year, I basically spoke about the DCEU. Is it a case of reboot or redemption? I think that was the exact title. Redemption or reboot? I don't really remember. But it's something like that, so if this isn't really your thing, you can always go and just not watch it. Or if you want to get my opinion, maybe try and challenge it, then you are more than welcome to. But I will be posting this video on Twitter with the hashtag, and I'm really hoping some of the followers of the movement are watching this right now. If you are, hello, thanks for stopping by. Subscribe if you want. You probably won't, because this is probably the only video of mine that will attract you. But even so, nice to have you, and yeah, let's get on with the video. For those who don't know, Release the Snyder Cut is basically a hashtag what has been going for over 2 years. Basically, when Justice League came out, November 17th, 2017, the world, and especially me and millions of others, were very, very excited to see this film. Even though the build-up had been criticised by many, many people, and the performances had been criticised by even more people. People like me, on the other hand, were very excited to see the continuation of this story. Yes, it was debatably rushed, and they weren't solo films. We should have had them first. Whatever your opinion is of that formula, I, for one, was very excited for a unique twist. See how, because at this point we'd had one solo film with Superman, we'd had a semi-solo film in BVS for Batman, then we'd had Wonder Woman solo film, okay? Those were the three members of the League we'd had set up. We had three more to be set, we had two to, in Justice League we were being introduced to Aquaman, Cyborg, and The Flash. Now, after Justice League's release, we got the Aquaman solo film, and we will eventually be getting a Flash. But you might think, you do solos first, then team-ups. Which, yeah. But then again, that's what you do. No, that's what Marvel did. And while I do appreciate them doing it that way, the reason I like DC's way is because it was different, it was unique, and it was just different in itself. However, Warner Brothers made it look like we were playing catch-up. Like, let's release all these films, rush towards the Justice League film and trying to beat Marvel. I get how it looked, whereas Zack Snyder, his vision was not to play catch up to Marvel. It was to tell his own unique story, while in some ways trying to make WB happy by building a universe. And unfortunately, with Justice League, that failed. Now, when I saw it, I loved it. I was in tears in the final battle because Superman was back. Spoilers. Superman, well, to be fair, don't watch the theatrical cut, wait for the Snyder Cut, which I'll get to in explaining what it is. But I was in tears because I had all the members, they were all back. It was cool, and I was just so happy to see all the members of the League. Sometime after seeing the film, My friend Josh, who I saw it with, he pointed out that it felt rushed and it felt like there were scenes missing. And I said, and I quote, I think this is the exact thing I said, I can't remember. I was too hyped and just feeding off the energy of seeing the film. But when Josh said that, I was like, no, there's no way they've learnt the lesson. They can't have. But throughout the following, we'll just say the following 2 years, we learned that wasn't the case. And Justice League got butchered to fuckery. What we thought were just simple reshoots, or Josh was just coming on because basically Zack Snyder unfortunately left the project because his daughter took her own life, which is horrible, and I am so sorry that happened to him, and I really wish the film had been delayed. Because when he left, Joss Whedon came on to finish it and polish things and just do a few reshoots. Yeah, my ass! They were 80 pages worth of reshoots. And it wasn't just tiny changes finishing it up. No, it changed the entire fucking vibe of the film. What was originally going to be a film about Batman realising he shouldn't have gone after Superman. Oh, I failed him in life, I won't fail him in death. Help me find the others like you. A quote from a Zack Snyder film, okay? We got the impression that, and then the ending of BVS when Batman says, oh, men are still good, we fight, we betray, but we can rebuild. We have to. Justice League was looking like it was going to be a dark film, but still lightening the tone. Not a Marvel lighten. No offense to Marvel for having a light tone. I still enjoy that. I'm just saying for DC. It wasn't about a straight lighten. It was about a slow redemption because Batman's still got to be dark and brooding but it was about a redemption story. That's why I love the way Zack Snyder tells stories, and it pisses me off how so many people meme the Martha moment from Batman vs Superman. It isn't complicated. I will leave a link to a video from CinemaWins who explains why the film is so, well, I don't want to say why it's so good. He's optimistic as hell, and I'll leave a timestamp to the video where he explains, in fact, never mind that, watch the entire video, but so far into it, he explains the Martha scene. I get if people don't get it, but it's like, it's not confusing, and I don't want to say the cliche Marvel fans don't get it because they're used to things being served on a plate, but I will say Marvel likes its simplistic storytelling. Is that a bad thing? No. Does it mean its audience members are stupid and need spoon feeding? No. Not at all. I have friends who adore the MCU and they're not idiots. I mean, maybe for being friends with me, but that's not the fucking point. Justice League was about the tone rising and just redemption. It was meant to be a nice team-up film. But Warner Brothers brought in Joss Whedon and he was just more or less told to do Avengers 1. Or Age of Ultron, and you can see it. There's a moment where Barry falls on Diana. And it's not funny, it's just Bruce falling on Natasha. And it wasn't funny then either. The point is, I do not appreciate how Warner Brothers brought in someone to do something that doesn't work for DC. And they used Zack's tragedy as a way of booting him off. Because in my opinion, if I was a studio executive, firstly I'd release the fucking Snyder Cut, but in that timeline I would have said, right, no, it's alright Zack, take your time off. Because Zack tried to push through and finish it. I'd have been like, no, Zack, we'll delay the film. Or people get pissed off. They'll get pissed off regardless. Like, take your time, we'll delay the film. It's alright. But they didn't. And the CEO of Warner Brothers, or the ex, I can't pronounce his name. I don't want to pronounce it wrong and sound racist, only in jokes. But in all seriousness, he said, oh, the film's got to be 2 hours long. Knowing full well what Zack had shot was rumoured, I don't want to say this and be wrong, someone correct me if they know. Apparently the Snyder Cut is 3.5 hours long. And from what I know, the film, yes, we was introduced to Aquaman, hype for his solo film, same for The Flash. What about Cyborg? Apparently Justice League was Cyborg's story, and yet it all got condensed into 2 hours. And it's an enjoyable film when you watch the theatrical cut. I enjoy the film. But the problem is, it breaks your heart, or it breaks my heart when I watch it and I know another hour and a half is missing. And even then, the 2 hours we did get, a lot of it is fucking changed. Like, there's a line in one of the trailers where Batman says, my turn, and it's such a good... Wait, no, not... Well, that was reshot for starters, which is so shit. But there's another line in the special Comic-Con trailer where Cyborg says to Batman, I've read about you, didn't think you were real. And Batman says, and it is the most Batmanist thing Batman has ever Batmaned, he says, I'm real when it's useful. turns to the right, grappling hooks. In the cinema, in the theatrical cut, they come into this area, cuts the Batman, turn to the side, firing his hook, with Cyborg looking at him, and when I saw it, I was like, oh, come on. You can see they're all facing forward, cuts to Batman like this, Cyborg looking at him, and I was like, I know what that cut just was. The trailers in some way are better than the film. And it annoys me because... Oh, the reason it's been a 2-year fight is because so many people have said, and even people I know have said, oh, the Snyder Cut doesn't exist. And I'll put as many examples on screen as I can. There is so much evidence to support otherwise. And last week or the week before, I don't remember when it was, Jason Momoa tweeted, who plays Aquaman, still in the role. He tweeted about it. He's claimed that he's seen it. Ray Fisher posted about it. Gal Gadot tweeted about it. Another one still in the role. And then a man who I love and adore, who has been very distant from the role, understandable, Ben Affleck tweeted about it. Batman tweeted about it. Now, for anyone who follows me on Instagram, knows I have a lot of aggression towards Matt Reeves and Warner Brothers because Ben Affleck claimed, oh, I couldn't get the script right for Batman, that's why I left. Bull honker. Jay Olivia, I think, said he read the script Ben Affleck wrote for the Batman film, and he said, and I quote, it was some of the best Batman Deathstroke stuff I'd ever read. Fans and critics, you know, those posh twats who don't care about films, they're paid to see them and paid to hate DC. That's just a fact. He said even they would like it, but Ben claims he couldn't get it. Bullshit. Ben Affleck was bullied out of the role, and nobody can change my mind about that. If it is true that Ben couldn't get it right, that I can't believe that. I'm sorry, Ben. I have such respect for Ben Affleck, but I can't believe that. I believe he was bullied out of the role. And I'm sorry, Robert Pattinson, but no. Batfleck isn't done. And you may be thinking, Michael, you're getting triggered. Oh, you damn right I am. The DC and the Justice League mean so much to me. When I came out from seeing Endgame and I felt all that hype, one of the first things I said was, God, I hope DC gets a film like that. And with no aggression to Marvel, I loved the film. I was like, oh, if DC gets something like that, that'd be a belter. And I really believe Zack Snyder could have given us that. And it pisses me off because it wasn't fair how he was treated. And yeah, there was an article the other day from Variety saying, oh, Warner Brothers have said this, but there's no plans to release it. Bullshit. Because if that is true, do you know how stupid that is? The amount of tweets we have got about the film in support from actors, whether they're still in the role or not, from crew members who worked on Justice League, to storyboard artists, to just thousands of fans coming out and saying, yes, I want to see it. Yes, I'd pay for it if it was on HBO Max, or even if it was in the cinema, which is my preferred way of doing it. I want them to re-release in cinemas, new trailers, fucking title it Justice League The Snyder Cut. Do you know how much money you'd make? And people saying that, let's go with the theory, the visual effects aren't finished or aren't finished enough. People saying, oh, they can't afford it. It's Warner Brothers, not some fucking broke cosplayer who does YouTube videos. They've got the money. And if they risked it, they would make all the money back. I guarantee you if Justice League came out in the cinemas again, the Snyder Cut, you would get $1 billion. You'd get $1 billion at the box office. I guarantee it. I'm not going to be an idiot and say it'd beat Endgame. No, that's ridiculous. But you would hit $1 billion. I feel like in the Snyder Cut, Batman had some light moments, but not fucking happy clown. Jesus. I feel like some of the... It's hard to tell what's Snyder and what's Whedon at times, because I'm not that keen of an eye. Like, I think maybe the scene on the plane where Alfred says one wishes the days where one's biggest concerns were exploding wind-up penguins, and Bruce says, a simple life. Like... Or, for example, with Wonder Woman, when Bruce says, I'm only interested in her skill set, and Alfred goes, I'm sure you are. Which, hey, because they're flirting and it's all happy. I feel like that might be Snyder. I know the cringy the cringy scene between Bruce and Diana after Superman's resurrection where she fixes his arm. I know that is Joss, because Snyder has said, I don't know where this scene is, but I hope the scene on the plane where it's like, oh, I'm sure you are. I hope that's Snyder. And I hope no one looks at me and goes, Michael, how could you not tell that that's not Snyder? I'm not as good of an eye as some others are, but if anyone knows if that's Snyder or not, please tell me, because I hope it is. Because on the other hand, though, there are other scenes what are definitely not Snyder, and you can fucking tell. But there are some where if it isn't Snyder, then fuck Warner Brothers made it hard for me to see. But like, the thing is, there are moments in BVS where Batman makes jokes and he has light moments, but they're not. They're subtle. They're not ridiculous. They give you a chuckle. They don't try too hard. Because Batman does have moments of, like, you can get a chuckle out of it, but you don't piss yourself laughing. He's not Tony Stark, who is in some ways a comedian, which is not an insult, that's just who he is. Whereas Batman's more solemn, more calculated, but he can still have those moments. That's why Kevin Conroy is so good as Batman. And I feel like there are moments like that in the Snyder Cut. But of course, I don't know. All I know is that the Snyder Cut does exist. It is finished at least enough for Warner Brothers to make an effort to help it get released. And yeah, there are articles, there are people who've got verified things on Twitter saying, oh, it doesn't exist, there's no point. And there's thousands of articles saying, oh, it won't get released, DC's going in a new direction, Matt Reeves cast someone else. Okay, all of those, especially the last one, can bugger off. Because it does exist. It will get released. And the reason I'm making a video on this, yes, I'm too tired to record a Let's Play, but this is something I've been asked about before, and it might be an interesting video, because the reason I'm so passionate about it is because DC means a lot to me. The stories mean a lot to me. And I'm sick of people bashing everything Zack Snyder's done just because they refuse to get it. Like, Man of Steel, oh, it's too dark, Superman shouldn't kill. No, Golden Age Superman shouldn't. This isn't Golden Age Superman. If anyone hasn't and would like to, give each of these films a chance, including Shazam. Shazam's a great film. And even if you want to give Justice League Theatrical, or as we call it, Justice League, if you want to give it a chance, you might be able to get some enjoyment. I still get some enjoyment, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't mind if you want to give all these films a shot. They're all great films to an extent. Have they got their faults? Yes. Even my favourite film of all time has got its faults. But I still love it. In my opinion, there's not a perfect film. Another one of my favourite films, which is Marvel, Winter Soldier. It's not perfect, but it's an amazing film. But my point with Man of Steel, and I think it's why it isn't called Superman, he isn't Superman yet. He's just started off. He's learning. Zack's whole thing about this arc was that in Justice League, the Snyder Cut, that's the first time he's Superman. That's why I like in the Snyder Cut, he wouldn't have had the black suit. Because, yeah, it would have been cool and dark. People would have still complained. And isn't it funny that? But the reason he explained, and I hope he means is not just Warner Brothers making him say this, I hope he mean what he said when he said, the reason I went with a bright suit is because there's a deleted scene which, whoever said it was right to delete it, let me punch them in the face. I'll leave a link to the 2 deleted scenes we have seen from the Snyder Cut. And one of them, the reason he said, oh, the reason I wanted the light suit was Superman has the option, because in the deleted scene, spoilers, he does walk past it. And Zack explained the reason he doesn't choose it is because that's his past. That's an option of who he could come back as. Zack said, oh, he's been born twice. Earth, he's been born on Krypton, and now Earth. And being born on Earth, fucking fully grown Henry Cavill, that's a lucky birth. He has the option to be like Zod, or to be a warrior, because there's another suit there. Be a warrior, be like Zod. I don't know, I think it might have been one of those. Either way, he has the option to be someone else, but he chooses the Superman suit. And he references Man of Steel when he says to him, one of these days you're going to have to decide what kind of man you want to grow up to be, Clark. Whoever that man is, good or bad, he's going to change the world. I butchered that, I'm sorry. But the way he says it is so much better. And that's who he chooses to be. Superman. Yes, black suit, long hair, beard, not CGI'd, would have been sick. But I like that he went with the brighter suit because that was when he was finally Superman. And I like that. I like how these films were about other heroes, but at the same time, it was Superman's story. And I would have really loved to have seen phase 2 of the DCEU going forward. Aquaman, Shazam, Batman, The Flash, they were meant to be out by now. Oh. In an ideal world, what I want from the Snyder Cut, and I know this is a long shot, what I want, because a reporter, I don't know if she's got Gracie Yandov, I don't know her name, but apparently she's been tweeting some stuff, but as well, I'm sure she's tweeted some stuff in the past, which is bullshit, but I don't know, I'm not an expert, but she tweeted that apparently the success of Gal and everyone tweeting, which got the Snyder Cut hashtag fucking trending, which, holy shit, great job, and Ben and Zach and everyone, thank you for joining in so vocally, thank you. But apparently she said that all this is getting Zack into a position where he can get everything he wants. And then there was a picture on Zack Snyder's Vero, that social media platform, which I'm getting because Zack posts so much stuff on there regarding the cut, and it's so good. Like, so many shots, and it's like, oh! But she claimed that's what's happening. And then when Variety posted that shitty article, someone asked Zack saying, oh, give us something, we're losing hope. And he just replied with, don't. And then days before that, days after the trending and everything, he posted a picture of him getting coffee in front of a billboard, which could have been a random selfie, but he doesn't do that kind of thing. And apparently someone said, and I don't know how true they are, they said that apparently where he was close to Warner Brothers, so maybe they're having a meeting. And as well, recently, Warner Brothers and Warner Brothers Pictures, both their accounts, followed him again on Twitter. And then something else that I don't know how true it is or how legit it is, but apparently on IMDb there's a new DC film what's been added for April 2020, what apparently wasn't there days before. Could it mean that's where the Snyder Cut's going to be? We don't know. But one thing that someone did come to the conclusion of is Superman, a la Jesus in this metaphor, died and then came back on Easter in April. I'm not saying a metaphor is proof that April 2020 is that is an actual date for a confirmed film, that's when it's going to be. I don't know. But we're at a point where, yes, we've had 2 films, Aquaman and Shazam, both great films. I recommend both of them. They both prove that DC can be a different tone. What isn't Marvel? And I love Shazam for that. But even though we've had 2 films set after Justice League, I think if the Snyder Cut came out now, it would still fit in there. Because, separate thing, when Aquaman was getting made, James Wan said he spoke to Zack Snyder against WB's wishes and asked him, like, oh, I don't like how Aquaman was changed in Justice League. What were your plans for the Snyder Cut? And he told him, and that's how Aquaman is made to be in the film. And that's why some people have said the Aquaman in the Arthur in Aquaman feels different to the one in Justice League. Yeah, because the one we saw in Justice League, we haven't seen that Justice League yet. We haven't seen Justice League. If you watch the trailers, it's not the same film. I think the last trailer is the one that has some Joss stuff in it, which is a shame because there are some moments that look good. I don't know if the Red Sky edit was Joss, but part of me hopes it was Zack because like, the Red Skies reference to the animated series. I don't know, them following him on Twitter, the trending, Affleck getting involved, it means something. And going back to that tweet where she said, oh, this is getting Zack into a position where he can get everything he wants, and then going back to something else I said about, oh, in a long shot, in a good world, in a perfect world, combining those two, oh, Zack will get everything he wants. In a perfect world, to me, that means, and I want you guys to tell me how long of a shot this is. Well, no, I know it's a long shot, but I want you guys to tell me how possible you think it is. Now, I'm speaking specifically to those who understand this stuff, who are involved, but even then, if you want to give your opinion regardless on what I'm going to say, you can. For me, in a perfect world, we get the Snyder Cut released in cinemas, on Blu-ray. I'll fucking buy that Blu-ray immediately. I'll pre-order the bastard. That happens, makes $1 billion, maybe $2 billion, 1.8, I don't know. Following that, Warner Brothers realises its mistakes. They let Zack back in, not complete control of the DCEU, because Patty Jenkins, Kathy Yan, the one who's doing Birds of Prey, I think that's her name, James Gunn, stuff like that, they're still doing their things, but Zack is brought back on. He's asked, oh, what, I don't know how this conversation would go, so to pretend it's more professional. They say something along the lines of, what do you want? And he says, well, to be fair, I think the Snyder Cut would make them see, right, we gotta treat Henry Cavill with respect. we got to give him Man of Steel 2, because Henry Cavill has said 3 times that he's still in the role. Yes, we may be thinking he's just saying that, but he seems sincere when he says it. So with that in mind, give him a fucking film. But the ideal thing I want to see, and I know this is a long shot, but I really do believe if Zack gets Justice League Snyder Cut released, see what I did there, we could get Batfleck back. Now that doesn't mean I want Matt Reeves' film to get retconned. No. Joker proved we can have a film outside the EU, like the connected universe, and it can succeed. So do that. Have Matt Reeves' trilogy be a thing not in any way connected and have it succeed. I won't see it probably. I know that breaks my heart to say that about Batman. He's my favourite hero, but Batfleck. Get Batfleck back and then I'll see. But like in an ideal world, I'd love to see Batfleck come back. The script that he wrote, I couldn't crack it. J. Olivia says, excuse me, have you read this? Ignore them making you feel sad about the role. You nailed the script. And have them make that film. Zack directs it. Joe Manganiello, can't pronounce it, I'm sorry. He plays Deathstroke. We get Arkham Origins, the boss fight between them two, what was all the scene in the trailer rather. Get that in live action. It would be such a good film. Have Jeremy Irons, have J.K. Simmons, maybe have Jared Leto cameo. Have it maybe be the Batman and Deathstroke, but maybe have the Joker, maybe Harley, I don't know. Now I know originally Ben said he wouldn't direct if he wasn't happy with the script. Then he stepped down from directing, which, yeah, fucking panic. But he said, oh no, it's more I want to focus on my acting. Could have been a lie. I don't know. I do know that it would be tough to act and direct in a Batman film as Batman. Not saying Ben can't do it, it's more, right, check that, okay, action, back on, okay, like, I don't know. But I do know I would love to see written and produced or whatever by Ben Affleck, written and executive produced by Ben Affleck, directed by Zack Snyder. I don't know. People have said have Ben Affleck write and star in it, have Zack involved, but have David Ayer produce it or direct it. I don't know. I think it might have been Zack produce, Ben writes and stars, but David Ayer directs. Because Suicide Squad's faults aside, which were the studio again. I mean, yeah, David Ayer admits he should have had Joker be the main villain, not Enchantress. I still respect you doing something different, and I did enjoy Enchantress. She's the weakest DC villain of the films, but I still liked her, and the performance the actress gave, I still enjoyed. So, and even then, the Arkham he painted, I liked. Well, not the Arkham, well, even that as well. I meant like the Gotham he painted. And even then, it reminded me, apparently the Batman film was going to be based in Arkham. Oh. As I said, perfect world. I don't know if it's a realistic thing for Ben to come back. I know that he couldn't crack the script. I know that's bullshit. What I don't know if his bullshit is that that isn't why he left the role. It's more because of his alcohol problem. Now, if he left, because he did suffer with that, and I'm sorry that he had to deal with that. If he left the role because it was affecting his health severely, and even with Zack in charge, it won't change his mind, then I respect that. That will upset me, but I will respect it completely. But tweeting about it, it isn't just a simple release. That tweet isn't simple. It means a lot. And I'm not saying it means, oh, I'm back in the role, but it does mean he isn't finished. Whether that means he isn't finished in getting his last performance out in the original director's vision, maybe it just means that. Maybe it means he wants to come back. I don't know. I don't know these things. I don't know what Ben Affleck is thinking right now when or what he was thinking when he tweeted that. What I do know is I adore and respect the man a lot, and I hope he is healthy. And I really hope Batman didn't impede, is that the right word? Impede his health, because he's a great actor. But yeah, I'm going to leave this video here. I know I've rambled a lot, and I'm sorry if you got bored, but this genuinely means a lot to me. And I want this film to get released. It isn't a case if it doesn't exist. It isn't a case if it isn't finished. It's a case of when will it be finished to be released. Like, there is enough of it done. I genuinely believe that if the visual effects aren't finished, it's a couple months worth of things that need to be finished. I don't want to say a couple weeks. When I say a couple of months, I mean like maybe half an hour and out. I don't want to say it's all finished completely, but Zack says it is. But I think them not releasing it at this, but like if that Variety article, which it's bollocks Variety, but if that article is true and they have said, oh, we're not going to release it, well, firstly, you've acknowledged its existence, so you've shot yourself in the foot, and secondly, you said you won't release it. You've shot yourself in the other foot. As again, though, I said that article is bullshit, but if it isn't, then it's a stupid move to not release it. But I think with that journalist, I'm not saying I believe her because I don't know if she's genuine. Again, there are a lot of things I don't know. I don't know if Affleck will want to come back. I don't know if the film will be amazing. I don't know how finished it is. But what I do know is it will be released. I don't know when, but I know it will be. And if anyone watching this is already familiar with the fight, or is one of my audience members and is interested in joining this, feel free to retweet this video with hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Like, put a caption explaining how I brought you into it, or something like that, because I don't want to use this hashtag to get views. No, not in any way. I do want to reach out to other people who are already a part of this, because I bet a lot of you who are already subscribed are a little confused. Which, yeah, that's fair enough. So I really recommend you watch the films, maybe take an interest, or you can just ignore me completely and, well, thanks for the view on the video anyway. But I hope you guys got a sense of where I'm coming from with this, because I've been going on for nearly an hour now. And, yeah, I know I'm rambling, but imagine a film you love, okay? You were excited for with the trailers, and then when it came out, you enjoyed it, but you saw it bomb at the box office. You saw it flop. 657 million is still a lot, but not what it should have got. And then you realise, I enjoyed it, but yeah, there was a lot wrong with it. And then you find out an hour and a half was taken out, and a man's daughter's suicide was used to push him out. Imagine how you'd feel about that. Not fair. And whether you like DC or not, I don't care if you like DC or not. From a filmmaker's standpoint, from a comic book standpoint, comic book movie standpoint, imagine your favourite film being cut in half. It's not fair. Why would you want the film to, like, oh, why has it got to be that length? In my opinion, a film should be as long as it's got to be. I get films have deleted scenes. Yeah, I get that. But you don't, with Justice League, it wasn't a deleted scene. It was a deleted movie. And yes, if the Snyder Cut's crap, I'll admit it. But the facts are, what we saw in cinemas, I don't know how much of the film was Snyder. One of the best scenes in the film, at least my personal favourite moments, is the beginning scene with Batman. And I don't know if it was Snyder. It might have been Joss. Because one of the actors in it who played a thug that Batman fights apparently claimed that when Joss filmed it, it was meant to be all comedic. I don't know how that scene could be comedic. I mean, I don't know how the film could be made comedic, but that's not the point. That scene, there's no way it would be comedic. And I think that's why, because it was Zack. I don't know. I don't know. If it was Joss, then fine. You did a good scene with Batfleck. Rest of the film. But then again, the rest of the film, the way Batman is treated, then I look at that first scene. It can't be Batman. And people might say, well, no, because when Batman talks to Alfred and says Alfred near a thug, Snyder wouldn't be that stupid. Well, no. In my opinion, if that was a scene from Snyder, Snyder's not been stupid. And if it's a scene of Joss isn't being stupid, for once, because with where the thug is, Batman is so far away that him saying Alfred, he might not be able to hear. And even if the thug can, what's a small-time house robber or mugger gonna do? Check the whole of Gotham for every cunt called Alfred. And even if there's only one, which is Pennyworth, what's he gonna say? Oh, Batman's Bruce Wayne. How'd you know that? Because Batman said Alfred. Did he though? Like, they're not going to believe him. You get what I'm driving at? My point is, whoever directed that scene, I liked it. It's a good scene. Joss, if it was you, fine. Doubt it was, probably Zack. And again, just want to say, before I go, I don't hate Joss Whedon. I hate what Warner Brothers made him do. And I'm sorry for that, but at the same time, I feel like you should have stood up against it. Maybe it's not that simple. I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is I'm going to shut the fuck up and go, because I've rambled far too much. I do want to trim this video down to maybe half an hour, not an hour, but I really hope this wasn't an incoherent mess from a tired man, because I may look tired, but I've got a fight in me for this film, and we will get it released. And I hope this resonated with some of you guys, specifically the guy who commented saying, oh, what's your opinion on all this? I hope you got what you wanted. I hope you got an insight, and I hope you guys in some way feel closer to me. And that feels daft and maybe a bit gay. Joking. But I hope, I don't know, I like opening up about shit that I'm passionate about. Yes, it's a long video, but fuck it, I wanted to talk about it. You guys might enjoy it. I'm going to go now, so yeah. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. And no matter what Variety says, you've not faced us before. Not as united. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please remember to leave a like and a comment, and of course share with your friends, as it really does help with the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Release the Snyder Cut. And as always, I'll see you guys back here next time. Bye.